Hello, vinyl community. This is Greg coming at you from Three Dimensions of Music. It's the name of my channel. Thanks for checking in on me. I wanted to do a year 2022 vinyl tag. I've seen these happen from years gone by. I've actually pulled the albums out and everything, but I never went through and did it. So this is actually my first one. I saw Rob from Let the Music Play. That's his channel, Rob Walker, Let the Music Play. He created a list, 22 questions for 2022, very clever. Rob, I wanted to first say thanks for making the list and starting it going. And this is from when I was stationed in England. I don't know if you know where Peterborough is, but I dug this out of my drawer. I've always kept this. Peterborough or posh. And I'm not sure what posh means. Maybe you can clue me in on that. I don't want to hazard a guess. But I wanted to participate in this vinyl tag. I do like them because, like Ron Haggerty said, I watched his. It was very enjoyable. AGK's, Rachel the Music Man, so many others that I watched. I enjoyed Rod the Happy Hippie. You get to show some of your collection, and we know that all these people have such great collections, great taste in music. And I dug in some of my collection and pulled out some records that would apply to Rob's questions that he created. There's only one that I had to pass on, and we'll go over that a little bit. But the first one he said was I have to check my list from time to time. A favorite album from last year that I liked very much. I liked a lot of albums I got last year for sure, but this one here, Billy Gibbons Hardware, the guitarist from ZZ Top, he forays out on his own from time to time, and he's made some great albums. And I enjoyed that very much. Fun album. Second question that Rob had was record by the first band you saw live. Now, from what I can recollect from whatever memory I have left up here, first band that I saw live, and I think I passed out during that concert, but it was Humble Pie. It was in Civic Arena, Pittsburgh, and if anybody knows what the Civic Arena was like, it had a window. It had a roof that opened up, and the sky, you could see the sky. It was like an igloo, and all these panels would open up. And I went to quite a few concerts there, but the one I remember the most was, the first one I remember for that was they opened the roof for that. And it was so cool. When the roof opens, and it's like one panel after the next, and all of a sudden all the smoke just starts going right out the roof. I think from the outside it probably looked like a chimney. Anyways, third album was Show a Duo album. The one I picked out for that question was Larry Coryell and Steve Kahn. It's an acoustic guitar duo album. Beautiful, beautiful guitar work. Larry Coryell is one of my favorite. Of course, Steve Kahn is too. But Larry Coryell has a great body of work. I have a lot of his stuff from jazz fusion days. A great guitarist, wonderful guitarist. The next one after the duo is a sealed album, Not Open. Now, this one here I found at a flea market. No kidding, for $1. Bob Dylan, John Wesley Harding. I know a lot of people are going to say open it, but I have it on CD, so I listened to it that way too, and I just kind of kept it sealed. And I thought it was kind of, I had this one and another one at the same day. It was Fleetwood Mac Bare Trees, sealed, never opened. They don't look like they were stored with a nice bunch of records, so they don't look like they were warped or anything. So I'm just going to keep them sealed for now. Maybe VCLT for later, who knows. I do like Bob Dylan, but not everything. And I have a lot of Bob Dylan on CD and stuff that I'm very happy with. Concept album. This is probably going to be, I haven't seen too many people show this, but I've always loved The Wall. To me, that's the greatest concept album that I've ever heard. I know it's not the greatest there ever was, but I've heard a few good ones. But I've always enjoyed this because I was stationed in England when this first came out, and everybody was crazy about this. This is actually Roger Waters. I have the Pink Floyd version too, but this was a later one he made a movie with, so the DVD and the DVD, a Blu-ray, I guess. But this a great movie to watch. I saw it at a theater. They had that wonderful stereo system in the theater, FX or some kind of FX or something they call it. But it's a great stereo system, great lows, great wonderful booms when that album played. It was great. I said that enough. Album I haven't listened to yet. Well, this one I got recently, right around Christmas time. It's Government Mule, Heavy Load Blues. Now, Chris, the blues guy up in Canada, I think you'll like this. I'm going to create a link in the comments below of the making of this. It's about a 5-minute YouTube video of the studio they were in, how they approached the album. I'm looking forward to listening to it because I just love Government Mule. I have a lot of their work, a lot of their live stuff. But this album is basically recorded live because it would explain it in the video, but it's something they always wanted to do, and they do a lot of there's some covers on this, and some of their own stuff, but they're really in their prime for sure. Government Mule, Heavy Load Blues. All right, live album. Let's see, record from another continent, I believe. No, live album favorite, right? Yeah, my favorite live album. I have a lot of those because I love live albums. So, oh, wait a second. No, I'm backing up here. Discovery in 2021, new artist. Well, the Black Keys. I say it's a discovery. For me, it is. These guys have been around for quite a while. They're from Akron, Ohio. A great group. I love their music. I started getting into them when I bought some CDs at some flea markets, and I said, wow, that's the Black Keys, you know, and these guys are just great. I love them. This one here I just got a couple of months ago, El Camino, the 50th, I think it's the 50th or maybe 20th anniversary, maybe. I don't think it's 50th, I think it's 20th. But the sound on it's just great, just great. Okay, that's the new one. I'm kind of nervous. It's the first time I'm doing this, so bear with me here. Artist from live album. Here we are, live album. I have them all lined up, so that's good. This one I just absolutely love. It's 10 years after, live at the Fillmore East in 1970. These guys were lighting it up. Alvin Lee and his band, and this particular, it's a 2-record set album. It just sounds so great, and the jamming on it from Alvin Lee. Let's see if I can open this up because it's like a triple gatefold. I think maybe it's 3 records. I think it's 3. Yeah, maybe it is 3 records, isn't it? Yeah, it is. 3 record set. It's just a lot of great music. 10 years after, live at the Fillmore East. If you guys can find this, get it if you like. 10 years after, it's a must-have. It really is. Even if it's CD, I guarantee you'll love it. Artist from another continent. Well, who was considered as cheating, Rob, but I love the Rolling Stones. They're from another continent as far as I'm concerned. Good old Great Britain. I believe it's on a continent of its own. More considered an island, I guess, but to me it's a continent. It's full of great people. England's wonderful heritage and great people. This is Rolling Stones, and England gave us so many great bands and great music. Exile on Main Street. This is a one from Abbey Road Studios. Really great sound. Okay, that's from another continent. Record you still have the price sticker on. And I've seen this record around. It's funny, Rod the Happy Hippie. I think he had the same record. Bruce Springsteen, still in the shrink. This was on a flea market for $1, and it says 7 something on the album. Born in the USA. Now I have a Bruce Springsteen triple album set, from 1977 to whatever, and that's all the Springsteen I need because he did that concert, I believe, in New York City, and it's a great concert with his band. And as much as I care for great Bruce Springsteen, that's all I need. So I probably won't open this. It'll either be a gift as a VCLT, or who knows what lies ahead for that. Still having the price sticker, and then punk or new wave album. Well, this one I almost had a pass on, but the only punk I have that I think I do, because I'm never was into punk or rap or hip hop. Not that I'm saying it's bad music or anything. I've always had a philosophy about things like this, whether it's music, beer, women, anything like that. There's no bad beer. There's only some that are better than others. There's no bad music. There's only some that's better than others. Everybody makes their choices when they walk into a store or in a flea market. You're looking for certain things. You do take your chances here and there, but something about punk that the songs are just a few minutes long. Maybe I'm a big prog guy, so I like that prog music too, and I kind of like a little more substance. Although it does get your juices flowing. But this particular Ramones anthology, it was I think it was like $2 at the flea market. It's really good shape, and it has a nice book. I know it's a CD and all, but my God, the songs on there, it looks like a frigging an encyclopedia of songs. So these guys were busy. They were busy. Anyways, that about does it for a punk, I think. Let's see, punk new wave box set. Any? Well, I have quite a few box sets. I'm a big fan of box sets. Probably maybe around 20 or so, maybe 25, different genres and stuff. But the one I got later in the year last year, my lovely wife let me invest in, was this one here, George Duke, The Era Will Prevail. I learned about George Duke listening to Frank Zappa. Liked what he did on the keyboards. He's just a wizard with the keyboards, the piano, any type of ivory keyed instrument. And he attracts so many other great artists. But this album here was something he did back with a fellow from Germany. And I won't even try to pronounce his name. But I'll just show the albums in their entirety. George Duke, The Era Will Prevail. Let's see. George Duke and Feet. George Duke, Liberated Fantasies. George Duke, I Love the Bless. She Heard My Cry. And this one is fantastic. You can buy these albums separately too. You don't have to get them in a box set, but I love George Duke. Faces in Reflection. If you're going to start with George Duke, this would be a good one to start with. Faces in Reflection. And lastly, there's a double album in there. The Inner Source. If you could find this by itself, that would be great, because this is just prime stuff. The Inner Source, George Duke. That was a great purchase last year. Thank you, Brenda. After the box set, record with sporting theme or song. Well, first thing that came to mind, and I believe that diving is a sport. I was a swimmer. I wasn't a diver, I was a swimmer. We always gave divers hell because we told them that they didn't have to work, but they worked. They worked a lot. Steve Winwood, Arc of a Diver. Great album. Steve Winwood of Traffic and many other groups. Jazz album, any. Well, I do have quite a few jazz albums, not tons, but I picked one out I got last year for $1 at a flea market in a really great shape. I cleaned it up and it sounds great. Thelonious Monk, April in Paris Live. I do love live albums. I love the spontaneity of the artists. How they just sometimes just feel so good that you hear things in a live performance that you won't hear in the studio. Thelonious Monk. It's a double album, and they were in pretty good shape. I believe it's on Milestone. I got some Thelonious Monk, and quite a few others that I was surprised to find with jazz out in the field there, in decent shape. Let's see. Best of album, any best of album. I don't have too many best of albums. I'm not a big fan of best of, even on CDs, because there's no flow. They just bounce around from one song to the other, and it's just I just really can't get into a lot of best of. But this is on one I do have that's of note. It's called MU, the best of Jethro Tull. Enough said. All his good hits are on here. Teacher, Aqualung, Thick as a Brick, Bungle in the Jungle, Locomotive Breath, Fat Man, Living in the Past, A Passion Play, Edit, Skating Away into the Thin Ice of a New Day, which is a great song. Rainbow, looks like sluts. No, Rainbow Blues. Nothing is easy. So I mean that's a murderer's row of songs, ain't it? All right, Jethro Tull, Out the Back Door. Where are we at here? Okay, and I can't even read my own writing here. Cover with more than 8 people on it. This is a tough one, Rob. I don't have that many albums that have more than 8 people, but I think I found something that's close. It's called The Association. It's a like a all gentleman singing group back in the day, back in the early 70s or 60s. It was in great shape, so I picked it up. I thought it looked pretty cool. But actually, it's pretty good. It sounds good. I've since watched or read about this album, and they've done other better ones. I guess this one was, at the time they did it, I think it was in Salt Lake City or something, and everybody was in a great mood when they did the concert. It was like bad weather and all. But anyways, that's what I have. And I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. All right, let's see. Soundtrack. Oh, okay. I only have a few soundtracks, but this one's in pretty good shape. Urban Cowboy. Who doesn't like that movie, eh? John Travolta. Between this and Saturday Night Fever propelled him into the stratosphere. So who doesn't like Urban Cowboy? Boz Scaggs, Kenny Rogers, Linda Ronstadt, Bonnie Raitt, Anne Murray, Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band, Joe Walsh, Johnny Lee, Mickey Gilley, Dan Fogelberg, Charlie Daniels Band. So how could you say no? It's in perfect shape. Perfect shape. Probably played once. And I don't think it's been played since I got it. No, that's not true. I played it at least once. Okay, soundtrack. VCLT, this is where I got to pass. I never got VCLT. It's just the way it is. I've sent some VCLT out a couple of years ago, and I never expect anything back. I just hope the people that I send it to enjoy it. But I've never gotten any VCLT. Who knows, that may change someday, but no worries. I got lots of music. Album with no writing on the cover. Okay, well, I think everybody knows, even without writing on the cover, who this is, right? It's Lucille. Lucille. Yeah, everybody knows Lucille. It's a 2-record set, wonderful blues. Great stuff. B.B. King. All right. 7-inch single. You're not going to believe this? I don't have any 7-inch records. None. I grew up on 7-inch records with my mom and dad and my brothers, with Beach Boys and all kinds of the Cyclones and all that stuff. But I do have something my father-in-law gave me, which is pretty cool. It's actually a 10-inch record, so I hope that helps. They offer nothing more than ear-to-ear violence. The New Bohemians, I believe. I think this is Ron Wood. So there's something to do with Rolling Stones. And after that, show a colored vinyl. Well, I would say that this one, and this is a recent purchase. It's been a while. Stained. It's a live set, live from Foxwoods 2019. And look at that vinyl. Sounds good. I like black vinyl. I prefer black vinyl because you can see the dust on it. You got to clean it and all that stuff. But this looks like you fried an egg on it. It's so cool. It's a double record set. It's pretty good. All right, working down to the last question, number 22. But you guys are glad. If you stuck with me, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Going through some of my collection, not very much of it, but album from 40 years ago. Okay. And this one here, I do like a lot. Led Zeppelin Coda. Sounds really good. A lot of good songs on it. But the one I like the most, which really kicks ass on the tower speakers that I have, is when the drummer takes over and does his thing. And I could have sworn that it was on here. Let's see. Bonzo's Montreux. Oh my goodness, that's a heck of a song. If you want to hear some great drums, Bonzo's Montreux off of Coda. Awesome. Okay, that's Coda. And other than that, I think that's it. I just want to thank you guys so much for putting out your stuff out there in the VC world. I hope this picks me up a few more subscribers. I hope somebody passes me along and says, check me out. I'll try to participate more, I promise. And thank you so much. And let's see if this works. I'm going to try to sign out. See you guys. Peace be with you.